All right, everybody. What's up? We back again for the same thing as we left off on yesterday. Today, I actually got a quick discovery. Today, I ain't gonna say discovery really, because it's not on the level of the other discoveries that I made. But when I was watching and re-examining what I put out yesterday, as far as the video on the inverse square law and the odd number rule, it was right in front of my face, and I didn't even realize it. And this ties into the counter space aspect. This actually should not be a long video. This should be about 20 minutes. Yeah, about 20 or 30 minutes, if that. But today with this inverse square law, I'm going to be showing y'all how it was right in front of my face, the odd number rule. So I'll just go ahead and get started with it. Now I got this over here and I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of philosophy as well. I have this over here, and basically we're just gonna start over here and go on this paper. So I'll block this out and do this like this. So where's my ruler? Um, there it is. All right, cool. So with the inverse square law, of course, I showed y'all you start off basically with one square. You start off from a point of singularity slash the light. And in that case, you would start off with the light right there as 1 point. And then you would end up going to one square. I'm using this as a grid because it'll look cleaner for y'all instead of the white paper. That way y'all can comprehend it at its best ability. So you end up with a 0 point or a point slash the light, the point of where the energy, starts at. And then you end up with one square. And from that point, you end up with a 2 by 2. I explained to y'all how in the previous video, my discovery was with this, with the inverse square law. You have to draw all of this out normally. But I showed y'all that the z-axis, what we've known as the z-axis, is the 45-degree angle. And when you do that, you don't even have to do all of this drawing stuff out elongated like this, three-dimensional wise, because when you do the z-axis, the same properties, slash the 45-degree angle, the same properties follow. So you go from point to one, and then you end up going to the next one, which would be two. The panel, and if y'all need more information, I encourage you to go back to my previous video and watch the one that I just dropped yesterday. If you need more comprehension on the inverse square law and the odd number rule, that'll keep me from having to, re-go over everything I just, went over yesterday. And we're going to stop at 4. The reason why I probably didn't even pick up on this is because because we stopped at 3, just like the normal models do. We didn't keep it going. But I picked up on something, and it really shows, it confirms exactly what I was saying yesterday. It shows that everything that I was saying is backed by facts, and that both videos, even unintentionally, ended up being tied together without my knowledge, without me trying to do that. And then the last one would be 4 by 4 so that I can get my point across. Now, what were the numbers as far as the odd number rule, y'all? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So as far as 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, these are all odd numbers, obviously. And I also showed y'all when you apply vortex-based mathematics to it and you continue adding the numbers, you switch off into the even numbers. But as you have this right here, like I said, you start off with 0 point to 1 to 2 to 3 and to 4. Okay. I'm also just do this for the quick up here for people. My discovery was like, when you look up, if you literally right now typed in on your phone or your computer, you type in inverse square law, you are going to see this right here, something very, very similar to this right here. But what you will not see as far as the inverse square law is the fact that you can simply draw a 45-degree line and get the same exact thing going on. Simple. Okay. So that's my discovery. But What I just found out, I'm not going to label it as heavy of a discovery. It's just something that I missed yesterday, a big puzzle piece that really shows that, okay, Corey, what you doing as far as these two videos, having this one and this one in the same video, it's on point. It's almost like something communicating to me and letting me know I'm on track. What it is how many how much is in between from 0 to this one window panel that we have right here? 1. Okay, so you end up from point and you end up with one window panel, so you end up with 1. And then from this right here, 1, and then 1 2 3, I mean 1 2 3 and 4 minus 1 is what? 3. And then you end up with 1 2 3 by 3, so you end up with 9. So 9 minus 4 equals 6. I'm tripping. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. 5. I'm tripping. Oh my gosh. I'm tripping. Wow. Okay. So you end up with 5. And then from that point, you end up with these over here, 4 by 4, which is 16. And 16 minus 9 equals 7. And if you continue the pattern and you ended up with a 5 by 5, which ironically is what my discovery is built off of, a 5 by 5 grid. Five and 5 is 25, and 25 minus 16 equals 9. So you end up with that big number, the magic number /9. So there you end up with this right here. So you end up with the counter space slash the no, which yes, this is counter space because you're subtracting. You're finding out what was in between. So you get from 3 / 4 in area from the 1 that you were at, and then you go from 4 to end up with 9, and then from 9 to 16, and then 25. Okay, so you end up with that going on, and 1 3 5 7 and 9 are all odd numbers / this is the odd number rule. So this all ties into anti-gravity, and the reason why this is important is because then when I started brainstorming with my own thoughts and adding my own thoughts to it and thinking about it, okay, this is flat paper. What about when you elevate it from flat paper and then start to go into 3-dimensional, and you start to think about cubes? Now, when I looked up what I was thinking about, which would be the inverse law of cubes, the inverse cube law, there you find barely anything, and I'm going to show and prove that on camera and type that up for y'all so that y'all can see. Okay, inverse cube law. This is the first thing that pops up here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's pretty hard to see. But what it does say is, for the inverse cube law, it says for both monopoles and dipoles, the field strength decreases as the distance from the source increases. For point electric charges, the electric field strength follows Coulomb's law. It is proportional to r to the -2nd power. That is often called the inverse square law. Okay. So if we go to images to find out what we can see, all we're going to see here is graphing. There's the inverse square law that I'm showing y'all right there. So this is the inverse square law, and they have plenty of different pictures on it, but they do not have anything on the inverse cube too much. I can't even find any cubes. But what am I getting at? What's the whole point of this? What did I tell y'all that I was going to do, and what my plan and all of this ties into? In order to lift heavy stones, anti-gravity, you need to know information about anti-gravity. So therefore, if you have this going on right here, 1 3 5 7 and 9, And this is all, like I said, this is the counter space. These are the same exact numbers that are within the counter space of my discovery. Okay. So you end up with 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And then afterwards, from that point, if you use your mind as far as the anti-gravity and lifting stones, a stone is not flat. It's a cube. So that's why I thought inverse cube law. And then after that, I said, damn. Okay, if you look at this right here, you got 1 and then you got 4, and this is all squares. If you look above a pyramid, what is a pyramid? A pyramid is a square. And therefore, if you took this from inverse square law and you turn, which deals with anti-gravity, if you type it in, and if you turn it into an elevated and turn it into inverse cube law, then you're going to end up finding out it turns into a pyramid. The squares have to turn. If you turn a square into a 3-dimensional cube, you end up with, this is a pyramid broken down level by level. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying this is as it is for a reason. And I'm tying this in with the pyramid construction and why I think, the questions that everybody has about anti-gravity, it all starts right here. You got to start off somewhere. I don't have all the answers, but this is how I get my answers. And once I got my answers, I don't want to hear anything from people, thinking this and thinking that. You see the work happening right now. It's all about the process. You have to learn to trust the process. So that's me philosophizing on myself, right? That's my philosophy on it right there. From using what I've already incorporated and learned, if you take the square law and then elevate it into the cube law, you're going to end up with a pyramid. This is the bottom of this would be the bottom of the pyramid, and if you kept this whole thing going, you would end up with basically a bigger pyramid. This is the capstone / the point of singularity. All of this has to do with anti-gravity. So like I said, I thought this was going to be a 20-minute video, but that's something very powerful that I just found out and ties into my discovery with the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 in the counter space. And it ties right back into what I said about the odd number rule. All of this basically is just, I'm showing how it ties all in together. So this is just a little bonus video. And if I would have saw this yesterday, this would have been within the video. So that's all I wanted to show y'all today. I hope y'all have a good day, productive day. Hope you learned something. And if you didn't learn anything here, hopefully you're teaching yourself something. And just stay safe. Yeah, have a great one.